Can a church be neutral on moral issues? After what took place in Argentina at the end of 2020, I ask, can a church be neutral on moral issues? And the answer is yes, the church can. The Adventist Church is evidence of this. Our Adventist pioneers were strictly pro-life, but this changed in 1970 by Pastor Neil Wilson. Later on, the church declared its neutrality on abortion in the country of Kenya, and now the same confirmation was seen in Argentina. What happened in Argentina? The Senate voted to legalize the practice of abortion, and Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil, condemned this action without hesitation. President of Brazil condemns Argentina's government, vows to always fight to protect the unborn. And what was the reaction of Adventist leaders? Did they join Bolsonaro in his strong condemnation of the killing of the unborn? Not so. They declared their neutrality on the issue. More sick of Argentina's neighbors in South America are condemning the government's decision to legalize abortion, in opposition to the desires of the vast majority of Argentina's citizens. Adventist institutions declare their position regarding the abortion law in Argentina. The Argentine Senate voted to approve the abortion law. The Clínica Adventista Belgrano and the Sanatorio Adventista del Plata published a press release. The Argentine Senate voted to approve the abortion law. The Clínica Adventista Belgrano and the Sanatorio Adventista del Plata, both Adventist institutions members of the Adventist health entity located in the Autónomos Buenos Aires City and Libertador San Martin, Entre Rios, Argentina. We also believe that God has given us the freedom of choice, for which reason we are not seeking to impose our beliefs by any legislation means. We respect the freedom of all people, as well as the rules of society. What if some of the rules of society are diametrically opposed to God's law, like the killing of innocent unborn human beings? Adventists in Argentina respect everyone's freedom, including the freedom to kill unborn babies. What about other violent crimes? Are Seventh-day Adventists in Argentina also against laws that forbid rape, armed robbery, arson, kidnapping, child abuse or domestic violence? Or do they also respect people's freedom to commit these crimes? The murder of the most innocent and defenseless has been legalized, and we are okay with that. In short, Seventh-day Adventists in Argentina don't want to step on anyone's toes or fight anyone, not even Satan. Not a word about the new late-term abortions, up to 9 months, which is the most barbaric act committed today. Why are we silent? Because of religious liberty? What kind of religious liberty are they talking about? Every day our people resemble the Laodicean church more and more. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot, I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Revelation 3:15, 16. Can our Adventist church afford to be neutral, neither cold nor hot on moral issues, and be vomited out of Jesus' mouth? This is reminiscent of what took place in the country of Kenya a few decades ago, when liberals attempted to legalize the practice of abortion in said African country. Seventh-day Adventist church leadership in Kenya are not urging opposition or support for a proposed law that may relax abortion restrictions in the country, instead encouraging church members to vote according to their consciences. We are talking about the murder of innocent unborn children, and our church declared its neutrality on this moral issue. How can we be neutral on what God has forbidden? The law, part of a proposed constitution, is widely opposed by Kenya's Protestant Christian majority. Notice that other Christian churches expressed their opposition to the liberalization of abortion laws. They were not afraid to defend God's law that prohibits murder. Adventist church leaders have distanced themselves from the opposition. Adventists did not want to be associated with those who were opposed to abortion. They wanted to be neutral on murder. Why? Because Adventists were profiting from the killing of the innocents. The church's statement reiterated local Adventist leaders' wishes to remain neutral on the law. Notice the emphasis on neutrality. God's law prohibits the murder of innocent human beings, yet our church was telling the world that we are neutral on murder. Are we also neutral on burglary, adultery, and the sexual abuse of children? Does it make logical sense to claim that we are neutral on the killing of unborn children? We know our members have different views and it would be unfair to decide for all of them. Our members have different views on many other moral issues. Does this mean that our duty to preach against sin and the violation of God's law is not relevant any longer? It is well known that our Adventist pioneers were opposed to abortion. This pro-life position of our Adventist Church suffered a major blow when a former president of the General Conference made a surprising declaration. This sad event was recorded for posterity by a concerned Adventist historian. His name is George Gaynor, and our church ministry magazine published the result of his research. Though we walk the fence, Adventists lean toward abortion rather than against it. Because we realize we are confronted by big problems of hunger and overpopulation, we do not oppose family planning and appropriate endeavors to control population. 16. Here is the online reference for the citation. Wilson stated that because the denomination was active in 220 different countries, it would have a difficult time taking a hard and fast position on the abortion question. Reference. President of Brazil condemns Argentina's government, vows to always fight to protect the preborn, liveaction.org. What took place in Argentina, in Kenya, and in 1970 reveals the consistency of the Adventist pro-choice position on abortion. Did Jesus approve neutrality on moral issues? Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. That is, Jesus says, you cannot be neutral. Was Moses neutral on God's law? Were Old Testament prophets neutral on morality? Was John the Baptist neutral on moral issues? Can our church afford to justify our neutral position on abortion? Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. That is, Jesus says, you cannot be neutral. Save this video. Please, share this video with your friends. And watch the videos listed below. And post your comments below.